Welcome to the Real Room. Real people, real challenges, real discussions, real answers, really. So today we have one of my most favorite people in the whole world, our daughter, Rachel. So welcome, Rachel.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, we're so glad that you're here. And I just want to mention a few things before we talk a little bit more about Rachel and what she's doing and what she's going to be presenting for the listeners today. We are a ministry that takes a whole person approach, so body, soul, spirit. And I always like to indicate that the soul makes up the mind and the emotions. So a lot of times I think people hear body, mind, spirit, and we don't do it that way because I believe that it's really important that we help people navigate through their emotions and they get to a place of wholeness and healing in that area as well. So body, soul, spirit. We have an event coming up. Want to mention that real quick
Yes,
before we jump into this topic. And actually, Rachel will be there doing a portion of the presentation and also offering her services. So hopefully you can come out if you're here in Southwest Florida, come out to Punta Gorda, and we are doing a workshop on detox and limbic system rewiring, which is really about the brain and brain health. And the other part to this, which I think is really going to be fun, is that people get to taste some really yummy snacks and some beverages that actually cause detoxification. And it's funny, I have to mention this right now because we were just talking about this. And I've also been talking to other people that are doing a detox right now. So we do detoxes quarterly. And one of the things I was talking to someone about just the other day was, you know, just the fact that a lot of times when you read something and it says, oh, this is a detox soup or this is a detox drink, your mind immediately goes to, ew, it's probably nasty. And it's just like, a lot of times you tell someone, like I make these no-bake cookies and, oh, they're healthy no-bake cookies. I've gotten to the point now where I don't say healthy. I just say these are no-bake cookies and they're yummy. Try one. Because people hear that and their mindset is, ooh, healthy equals yucky. It's not true.
hmm Nope,
Right, Rachel? Right, Mike? Okay.
that's right.
cardboard.
Right,
No,
cookie, yes, means cardboard, like nasty. Oh, we're gonna have twigs and berries, right?
Mhm.
No,
Yummy.
yeah, we want people to experience some tasty snacks that they're going to enjoy when they come to the workshop. So that's
hmm
February the 21st. Look it up on our website, lifecarechristiancenter.org. There's a flyer. And also you can find out more about some other things that we have available at arucaranch.org. And we'll make sure we put all of this information in the comments because I know that many of you who are listening to this, after you hear what Rachel is going to be sharing, you're going to want to contact us and try to make some sort of connection with her to take advantage of what she's offering through the ministry. So again, we take a whole person approach, body, soul, spirit.
hmm
So part of the physical area is we're teaching people how to make lifestyle changes that can last and lifestyle changes that will lead them on a path to where they have peace and joy and they're not struggling with depression, anxiety, a variety of different addictions. It will help support their healing process through trauma. So there's a various, I don't know, how many do we have now? 5 or 6 different modalities.
Yes.
So alternative
Yep.
health modalities. And at the workshop, they'll be introduced to that. And so today, we're going to be focusing on one of those modalities. And as I was thinking about how to introduce our speaker, and Mike has already let you know she's our daughter, uh, Rachel has been very interested and been on her own personal health journey for quite some time, several years. And when she found out a lot of the other things we were going to be doing, she was intrigued and interested. And she's done a lot of research on her own. but I sent her some information on something that I'm going to call ear seeding, but she's going to give you the more practical, or not, that's not even the word, the official name for this actual modality. She's going to go into detail about that, but it's ear seeding. And so I sent her some information on that because a friend of mine in Michigan is also utilizing this modality, and she just took off and ran with it, got her certification, and she's been working with lots of people here. And so I mentioned the website, and if you go to the website and you click on modalities and you go down to the bottom for the testimonials, you're going to see Rachael Bills, Rachael Bills, Rachael Bills, Rachael Bills. My experience with Rachael Bills was, so, ladies and gentlemen, here is Rachael Bills. So, Rachael, tell us a little bit about your journey, and then tell us a little bit about this whole ear seeding thing that you're getting into and being helpful.
Well, the journey is, well, just like you said, you sent me some stuff and I kind of took off with it and did my own research and figured out, wow, this is pretty amazing stuff. So got my certification. Here we are. So just to tell everybody a little bit about it, it is called Aruka therapy. We're going to call it Aruka therapy,
Aruka therapy,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's Aruka therapy. But it's kind of like getting the needles and doing all of that wonderful stuff, but without the needles. So okay, first of all, back up a little bit. Let's go with, you have 200 pressure points on your ears. Okay.
Okay.
So this is how I determine so you're going to come to me where I'm going to have you fill out this form. We're going to go through like, what kind of pain are you having? Are you having anxiety? Are you having depression? What are the things that you're going through that you really, really need help with, like right now? Like it's a big thing for you and you just need some relief. That's what we're going to do. So then we're going to do that. And then I'm going to determine where would be the best placement on your ears for that specific thing that you're going through.
Okay, so let's hit rewind just a little bit. So you mentioned
Okay.
needles, and then you mentioned points on the ear. So
Yep.
would you say this would be, let's call it acupressure? So it's acupressure points on your ears?
Yes, it's
Okay.
acupressure instead of acupuncture.
Okay.
Acupuncture is with the needles,
Yes.
which is you go in, do the needles, which a lot of people are not comfortable with needles at all. They're like, needles. They think about needles and they're like,
Yeah,
nope, I'm good.
yes, I've worked with a lot of people, coaching them and even counseling people, and they're like, this whole, I've read a lot about, acupuncture, and it sounds like it would be really a good thing for me to do, but I just got this aversion to needles. So I'm like, they're like, I'm not doing that. So
Yeah.
this is something that they can do, and they're going to get the same kind of results in many of these areas. So my next question, I guess, that I think everybody's probably wondering about, and you mentioned a few things.
Yep.
What are the things specifically? Can you add a few more to your list that, if people have these issues, that this would help?
Okay. Tinnitus, I have seated people for that. Anxiety, depression, like I said, that's a huge one. What else? Sleep issues. That's another big one that I've seated people for. Pretty much anything you could probably think of,
So
I can seed you for. Yes,
chronic
pain.
pain.
Yes, chronic pain, swelling. I have seeded people for swelling, and I've seeded them and then watched the swelling go down. So cool. Very awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's kind of the cool stuff.
Okay, one of them that I don't think we've mentioned yet. What about addictions?
Yes,
And
addiction.
is it specific addictions or any?
Any. Also PTSD. That's another big one. PTSD is huge.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. That's another one that could be, you could be seated for. Smoking. Smoking is a big one. A lot of people have smoking addictions, but yes, pretty much any addiction that is going to fall in the realm of being seeded. So
It opens up a
it's
whole world for addicts. I've
it
never
does.
heard of this. I'd never heard that in the recovery world. So, talk about a
Yes.
beautiful new
Yeah.
plan for somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Doing this in combination with therapy and doing some life
Yes.
coaching and then some of the other things that we have, I think people will be successful,
Yes. Yep. And they can continue to come back. And what's cool about this too is that with acupuncture, you go in, you get your needles put in. It's a 1 day, one time thing. I mean, you can go back continuously if you want to, but these seeds stay on your ears for 5 days, 5 days. And you're just pushing on them a little bit, just, to ignite that
Okay.
area.
So that's where the pressure comes in. So
Yes.
you're actually pushing on the whatever it is.
On on the points that I seed. Yes.
Yeah, so that's a good question to ask right now too, that I think would be helpful. Is like, okay, so what are you putting on my ears? What is this
Yes.
exactly?
Yes.
And you're
So
saying ear seeding. What is that?
So it's medical grade tape, basically, is what is on the seed. And it's a Viscera seed. You cannot just use any seed. There's a lot of things out there like, oh, I could just buy the seeds on Amazon or I can just get them from you. It's not at
Not
all
the
like that.
same.
There's a
There's
lot
always
of
counterfeits, right? Always counterfeits.
Yes.
And yeah, okay. So
Yes.
what did you say again? What is the kind of seed? Starts with
It's called it's called a Viscera seed.
a Viscera seed.
Viscera seed.
So there's something about the seed that
Yep, it's from a plant.
Okay, so it's from a specific plant, and that's grown in another country, or
As far
I'm clueless. Okay.
I mean, as far as my understanding it is, but like I said, people are selling these like fake Viscera seeds on Amazon and people are buying them and they're getting frustrated because it's not doing anything. Well,
Okay.
number one, you have to know where to put the seed. You can't just put the seed anywhere and just expect it to do what you want it to do. It doesn't work that way. And then number two, if you don't know what you're buying and you don't know that it's a legitimate, good source and where you get it from, that's a whole slew of other issues. So it's not going to work right. If you don't have the right thing being put on your ear and on the right point, it's not going to work right.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with oil when oils got popular.
Oh, essential
oils.
Yes.
Everybody,
Yes.
they're at Walmart now.
Yeah, you can't just use a Walmart brand or go up to CVS and expect that that's really going to help you. So we're into that whole thing too. The other thing I thought about too was like red light therapy, which we use that and we use it with our clients. We use it on ourselves, and there's a lot of junk out there. So we've done the work of, weeding out the stuff that isn't any good. And we're making sure that we pick the things that we know are going to help people.
Yes.
Just like you. I mean, we work together and making sure that we got a high quality product that you use. So then, okay, so go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm jumping in.
That's
something else I thought it wasn't it was a minor piece, but the fact that you can pick ones that may not be so noticeable. So
yes,
am I going to be walking around with bling around my ear for 5 days?
You can. I mean, that's good for me because people are going to be like,
bling,
"What's that?"
Yeah, sparkle and bling. I would like that because I think I think the last time I had mine done, I had sparkles.
You did,
but yes, the ones that you had, you couldn't even.
No, you couldn't even tell.
Couldn't see them.
No,
they're so tiny.
Yeah.
So that's good for people to know too. There's a variety of different things, but they're still getting the high quality product with it regardless.
Yep.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about the procedure. So somebody comes to you, they tell you kind of what they're struggling with, you prioritize and you figure out where it's going to be on the ear, what you're going to use. And so you put those on, and I know it goes fairly quickly because when we do the workshops here, I mean, I've watched you see multiple people, like one right after
Yeah.
the other. It only takes a few minutes. It takes more
Yeah,
time
it's
to fill
very
out the
fast.
paperwork
Yeah.
and to
Yes.
figure out, and they can't decide, which blingy color they want. That takes
Yep.
more time than you actually putting them on their ears.
Yes.
So, okay, so you do the seating and then what?
Yep. And then I explained to you that they stay on for 5 days.
5 days.
And you have,
What? Can I
yep,
wash my hair? Can I take a shower?
yes, you can do
Okay.
your normal everyday activities. You can sweat, you can take a shower, you can take a bath, you can swim, do your normal everyday stuff. They will stay on there. And then 5 days later, I mean, obviously, every single day, I'm going to tell you every day, push on those points. Let's just say, for instance, I am seating you for pain. Say you have back pain. If that pain starts flaming up on you, push on those points that I seated because it is going to help you and it's going to relieve you. If I seated you for anxiety or depression, if you're starting to feel those feelings, push on those. Push on them 100 times a day. I don't care. It'll help you in the long run. But the fifth day, you have to take them out. You need to take them
Okay.
out. And the way that you do that is the side that you're taking off, you're just going to take your nail, or if you don't have any nails, just kind of you're barely gonna you're gonna turn your head this way. Say I'm taking them out this side, and you're just going to scrape it off. It's very easy to come off when you're taking them off, but that's what's interesting about it, is that they don't come off when you're washing your hair or anything, but yet whenever it's time to take them off and you're doing it to take it off, it's very easy. So
Yeah. And I would think like over time that tape, it starts weakening anyway. So that makes sense.
yeah,
That
Yeah.
yep,
makes
I remember when you
yes,
warned me about that. Be sure to do this a little bit
yes,
because they can get in the ear.
yeah. You don't want
sense.
them to get in your ear. You do
Yeah,
not.
especially
That
those
would
teeny tiny
be
ones like he,
yes,
yeah, you want to make
yes,
sure you tip it so that it doesn't fall down your ear canal. Um,
yes,
okay, so 5 days and
yep,
bare minimum on applying pressure. I think I remember you saying that it's at least 3 times.
yes. At least 3 times a day, bare
More is
minimum.
better, but at
More
least
is better. Yep,
okay.
yes, yep,
Fantastic. Good.
yes.
So why don't you share with us just a little bit about, I know you mentioned the one testimony, someone who had swelling and you literally watched that swelling go down in moments after actually having
Yeah.
the ear seated. Why don't you share with the audience just a couple of examples or testimonies without naming names of, specific things that you've worked with people on and what the results were.
Another person I had seated for anxiety, actually, and she was having anxiety at the moment that I was seating her, and it was within at like 2 minutes, and she was like giddy and just a completely different. Her whole just demeanor changed. Like it was like night and day from her anxiety and being really like anxious about stuff to I feel great. Oh my goodness. Like it was pretty amazing to watch. It was very cool. So, I mean, and that's a matter of minutes. Now, I'm not going to say that is going to be the typical for everybody because that is not true. When you get seated, that does not mean that this is going to happen to you. So I might seat you for anxiety, depression, whatever it is. You may be having those feelings at that moment, but that does not mean within 2 minutes you're going to feel great because it's a seating is totally different for everybody. And another thing that I'm going to mention too, just so everybody knows, that if for some reason the seeds that I put on your ears on those specific pressure points do not help you, don't get discouraged because you know what? There's like so many different points that I can use for different things. So just because that specific point didn't work at that time, that doesn't mean that there's not another point on your ear that will work. It's just always different for everybody. So just so everybody knows.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that
Yes.
I like about this method versus acupuncture
Puncture.
is And I know people that go for acupuncture on a regular basis. And when I
Yep.
say regular basis, most of the time, in order for them to find relief, they're having to go back maybe twice a week, 3 times a week. With this, what I like about it is you're going and you're having this done. You have 5 days of
Yeah.
seeing results, seeing what happens, and then you can come back and have it done again. So
Yep.
overall, from the research that you've done and your experience when you've been working with people, let's say they don't find the relief the first time. So what have you kind of seen as far as repeat clients? How many times do they have to come back? Then you start seeing results, and then it gets to the point of on an as needed basis. Because I know people are going to wonder about that. Is this something that I'm going to start and I'm going to have to, you kind of like, I don't know if people have done chiropractic care before, and I believe in that. I really do,
Mhm.
because I think it really keeps your nervous system functioning and firing correctly.
Yep.
But to think, I've got to go see a chiropractor every week for a year is it's just out of reach for me. So what are we looking at with this? What do you think, or what have you experienced with people?
I think it honestly depends on how severe it is
Oh,
what
okay.
I would go with, because everybody has different severity of different things. So if you have, like, say you got in a car accident, okay, and you have severe pain, you're gonna come and see me at least 3 times, I would say, at the bare minimum. And then, yeah, I mean, and maybe you will get lucky. Maybe you'll just be one of those ones that you do get that relief, and you're like, I want this all the time. And then you come back, another time, and
For
then
other
the next
things, yeah,
time, yes.
right.
But what I'm seeing with the clients that we have now is more of, they are getting relief from the first seating of that, whatever that is, but then they're coming back to me for something else. So it's not the same thing that I'm seating them for that I did the first time. It's a whole nother thing that they want to be
Right.
seated for.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
yes.
that makes sense. And
Yeah.
let's face it, we all have multiple things going on, and the people
Yes.
that we see have multiple things going on. So
Yep.
that's why I think it's important that that initial consultation and interview process, so that you can focus and prioritize things. Otherwise, I'm serious, sometimes, you look at your life, or people, and it's like, wow, I could cover your whole ear with seeds,
Yeah.
because you have
Yes.
so much going on. And the
Yes.
beauty of this modality too, I think, and you alluded to this a little bit, was, they could come and they could get one seed on each ear. And
Yep.
that one seed on each ear could actually take care of multiple things. Or
Yes.
it could actually do something in a different arena that they didn't even ask for. It
Yes.
depends
Yep.
on what the body needs, which is also, many of the modalities that we're doing, they would kind of work that way. It's almost like the modality, because of the way that they're designed, it picks up on the area of weakness within the body
Yes.
and it focuses there,
Yes.
which I love that. So our whole, thinking process with everything that we do is root cause.
Yep.
And I think that's a good reminder for people too, that if you're going after root cause, you're trying to figure out why you have anxiety, why you're dealing with depression,
Yes.
and you're focusing on that in the physical realm, and then also your thinking, how to figure out, navigating your emotions, and then inviting, Christ to be in the center of this whole process. That's going to take some time to figure out, and it takes time to get from A to Z.
Yep.
So this isn't anything that we offer is not a quick fix. It's
Right.
not. Now, sometimes I think that there are miracles that happen, kind of like what you said. You see someone and you see immediate results. I mean, sometimes
Yeah.
that's going to happen. But then
Yep.
other times, it's like you got to stick with it, persevere. Okay, let's try something else. Let's add this, right?
Yep. Yep.
Another thing, like,
Yeah.
when you put the Band-Aids on, like traditional treatments would be, you never do get to the root. So you're
Yes.
constantly having to do that just for some temporary relief, and it comes back and it comes back and it's back. So
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah. And, that's one of the things too that we say, like one of our slogans is like, we are lifestyle coaches overall, but we're trying to create lifestyle changes that can last. Because you
Mhm.
can do a little quick lifestyle change, and that's why
Right.
diets don't work. Let's talk about food and nutrition just for a second, just deviate from this. But
Yeah.
you could do a diet and you're going to lose the weight and you're going to feel better. And, maybe that's for 30 days or whatever. And then you end up going back to your old habits. So,
Yep.
what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish by using all of these different modalities is to help people change their lifestyles and make those changes in such a way that it will last. This is going to be a
Right.
long-term approach to helping people rewire their brain, detoxify, just change their life.
Yes.
So
Yep.
what you're doing is a key piece to it. And I hope people will take advantage of what you're offering, in the ministry. So
yeah, I love it. I love it.
you
Yeah,
love it?
I do.
Okay. So
Yes.
Rachel, if there was anything that you could leave people with to encourage them in some way, whether it's, and you don't have to just talk specifically about the ear seeding, um, something to encourage them to take a step in this direction, whether it's, body, soul, spirit. Why don't you just kind of share with them briefly, and then we're going to make sure that we have an opportunity to close in prayer, and we will put links and all the added information underneath this video so they can contact you through the ministry. So any words of wisdom that you want to leave people with?
Um, I would just say if you feel like you have things that you, not even per se that you feel like you have things to work on, because all of us do, even if you want to admit it or not, all of us have things that we need to work on. So I would say, show up, come to the events that we're running, that we're doing, come and check us out. I mean, try some things. You just never know what God is going to bring out. You just don't know.
Yeah, amen
So
to that.
show up, try it out.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
And they'll have even more opportunities once we get this Aruka bond,
Yes.
completed, and we'll have places and stations for people to come and take advantage of a lot of different things, and they can learn
Yes.
about fitness and nutrition and have Bible studies and really grow their relationship with God. So we're pretty excited about what God's doing here.
Yeah, and
Yes.
great things happen when you show up.
That's right.
Let's show up, like
That's
you said.
right.
I love that. Yeah.
Show up, rip off the Band-Aid, just show up. We're
That's
there.
right. Yeah.
We have lots to offer,
Yeah.
and we're excited to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike, why don't you close and pray for our audience, pray for Rachel, and then we'll end our podcast.
Okay.
Until next time.
Yes. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for all the ways that you provide for wellness. Many of them they're not like the world. They're from you. So we thank you for that. We thank you for Rachel, that she showed up, that she stepped up and learned about this modality. And thank you for using her, Lord. I pray for everyone who's listening, that they would consider this, consider coming, consider showing up, get in touch with us, because living a life of health is so important. It's stewardship. And we just thank you for the bodies we have that we can do that with. So we praise you, Lord, in Jesus' name. Thank you.
Amen. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.